Hello, my name is Zachary Bailey, and this is my student Shakria Al-Arabi, and I'm going to be teaching her her first lesson on flute. So before we begin, I'm going to kind of give you kind of a lowdown of what we're actually going to be learning in this lesson, okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. So I'm just running down my objectives here on my lesson plan. We're going to teach you proper playing position, how to correctly open the flute case, the knowledge of the parts of the flute, assembly of the flute, correct hand positions, proper open head joint tone, closed head joint tone, articulation, and we're going to do a harmonic slur. All right?
Okay.
Cool. So we're going to start with playing position now. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate what's going on with all of this before we even get anywhere close to the instrument, and then we're going to have you try that, okay? Cool. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up nice and tall, okay? I'm going to wave my arms around, make sure I'm nice and relaxed, all right? And the way I'm going to sit down is I'm just going to bend my knees. I'm not going to stick my rump out or anything, and I'm just going to lower down like an elevator, okay? All right, so I'm nice and tall already. I'm going to make sure that my feet are flat on the floor. I'm not crossing them. I'm not bringing them behind my knees. Okay, so they're flat on the floor. I'm going to take one of my hands, my right hand. I'm going to gently push my lower back towards the front of my body. That way I'm nice and open. I'm going to make sure my head is floating. No extra movement up here. I'm going to keep my body nice and soft, and there's no tension at all. And whenever we have the flute, no other part of my body touches another part, but for this instance, my hands are just going to go on my lap. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to stand up, and I want you to go through that process, and I can kind of help you out with the vocab. All right, so go ahead and stand up, and I want you to show me everything about your playing position.
Okay. So I'm standing up.
Yep.
My legs are about shoulder width apart.
That's great.
And then lower without sticking my butt out.
Yeah.
And then just relax. Put my hand behind my back and just push it up a little bit. And then my hands are gently on my knees.
Yeah. Make sure your head is floating and it's natural.
My head's floating.
Yeah.
And it's natural.
Okay,
Yeah.
so make sure you're not moving it at a weird angle or like leaning it to one side.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't be strange up here. Okay. All right. Cool. Now we have gone through your proper playing position. Mm-hmm. You can relax for now, so you can sag or whatever. Okay. So cool. Now we are going to get to how to open the flute case. Looks very daunting. No, not really. But the most important thing is before we open the flute case, it needs to be on the ground. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so we're not going to put the flute together in our lap because that's the risk of it slipping and falling off. Okay? Mm-hmm. One indication that we can tell how we open the flute case is by where the logo is. Okay, you see the Yamaha logo right there? Mm-hmm. If it is facing the ceiling, we are good to go to open. All right, so basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the logo is on top. And you can see my name right here. I'm going to go ahead and open up the latches. I'm going to open it up slowly, make sure I don't mess with anything. And open it up slowly, and now it is open and everyone can see all the different parts. Mm-hmm. Okay? All right, so I'm going to close it back. I'm going to latch it back. I'm going to lay it there, kind of like this. And I want you to take me through how to open the flute case.
Okay, so here's the flute.
Yep.
Bring it towards me. The logo's up. So if the logo is facing up, then we're good to go to open. Now we just unlatch them and slowly open it to make sure everything is good.
Nice. Very good. Yeah. Not very hard at all.
No.
Good. Awesome. I don't know why I'm saying so many good things all at once, but that's fine.
I'm just that good.
Yes, you're just that much of a professional at opening the flute case. All right, so now we're going to do the parts of the flute. So I go ahead and bring this over to me. All right, so I'm going to point to each of the parts, and then I'm going to ask you what these parts are, okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. This is the head joint, all right? This is the body, and this is the foot joint.
Okay.
All right. What is this?
The body.
All right, what's this?
Foot joint.
And what's this?
Head joint.
All right. I want you to point to each part and you tell me it.
Okay. That's the head joint.
Yep.
That's the body.
Mm-hmm.
That's the foot joint.
Very nice. Awesome. Okay. So now we have gone through the different parts. There's only 3 different parts of the instrument.
Mhm.
Now we're going to talk about assembly.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble it, and I'm going to talk you through everything that I do as I'm assembling it, so I can know the check. So you know the checkpoints of whenever you're putting it together. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good. So first off is I'm going to take out the head joint right here. I'm going to hold it in my left hand. I'm going to take out the body, and we're going to leave the foot joint in there for now. Okay. So you see when I'm putting this in, you see the arrow right here,
Mhm.
and there's an arrow right here. All right. So I'm basically just going to align those two, and I'm going to leave about a half an inch. You see the discolored part of the head joint? I'm going to leave about a half an inch out of the body.
Okay.
Okay?
And the arrows are still lined up.
And the arrows are still aligned.
Okay.
All right? The next part is I'm holding the body, my left hand on my left lap, and now I have the foot joint. Okay? And this is going to go all the way in. And you see this beam right here with all the keys attached? It's going to line up with the middle of the keys on the body.
Okay.
Okay? And it's basically kind of in the middle there and in the middle there. Okay? So it's pretty easy to checkpoint.
Mhm.
All right? So that is your fully assembled flute.
Okay.
Now I'm going to disassemble it. And you just go in the reverse order. So what part do I go with first?
The foot joint.
Yes, the foot joint. So I'm going to take out the foot joint. I'm going to put it back in the case. So remember what that looks like in the case. Then next up, which piece?
The body.
Yep. Taking out the head joint from the body. I'm laying it in the case. And the head joint.
Okay.
All right. So now I want you to tell me as you go through, and I want you to assemble the flute. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So tell me what's going on as you do it.
And I'm bringing the case towards you. So I'm taking out the head joint.
Yep.
I'm holding it with my left hand. Okay. Now I'm taking out the body out of the case. My right hand. Finding the arrows on the head joint.
Yeah.
Finding the other arrow on the body.
Mm-hmm.
And then lining it up about an inch.
About a half an inch of the discolored.
Half an inch.
Yeah.
Okay, from the discolored
Mhm.
part. And the arrows are still aligned.
Yeah.
And that goes on my left leg, my left lap.
Correct.
Now I'm taking out the foot joint, my right hand.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm screwing it on. And I'm lining it up with the keys on the body, this part right here.
Yeah, the beam.
The beam.
Yeah.
I'm lining it up with the keys, about halfway.
And then in the
The
middle of
keys
the
on
keys.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So put it
And
on your lap.
Left.
All right. Now I want you to show me how to disassemble it.
Okay, so we're going reverse order. So we're taking off the foot joint, like that, left leg, putting it in the case, like that.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm removing the body from the head joint. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
putting it in the case. Is that which way it goes?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Okay, and now I'm putting the head joint back in the case.
Very good. Nice. All right. You have correctly assembled and disassembled the flute. Okay. Now we're going to talk about hand positions. All right. So I'm going to kind of run you through each of the hands, the left hand and the right hand. All right. So look at your left hand. All right. So you have your left thumb, finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, and your left pinky.
Okay.
Right hand, your right thumb, finger 4, finger 5, finger 6, right pinky.
Okay,
Okay.
so it goes thumb, 1, 2, 3, pinky,
Yep.
and then thumb, 5,
4,
4, 3, 2.
4, 5, 6, right pinky.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Try it again.
So it's left thumb,
Yes.
1, 2, 3, pinky,
Yes.
and then right thumb, 4, 5, 6, pinky.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Nice. All right, so I'm going to reassemble the flute, and I'm going to kind of show you where all of these fingers line up on the flute. And then I'm going to have you do it right after me. Okay? All right, so we're going to start with our left hand. So I have it on my left lap right here. And our thumb right here, is going to go on this key, which I like to call the machete key, or it's the B key.
I don't mean to interrupt, but when holding the flute, is it always on the left?
That's just typically where we have it for playing position, okay? Because whenever we put it up to playing position, it's
You'll pick it up
closest.
that- okay.
Yeah, okay? So left thumb here at the machete or the B key, okay? And then your first finger is going to skip this top key, and you're going to go right here on the second from the top.
Okay.
Your second finger is going to skip one and jump over to the fourth key from the top. And then your third finger is just going to follow that, and then your pinky is going to rest on this one that kind of sticks out. Okay? Now, your right hand, we kind of work our way from the bottom up. So our right pinky is going to be on the first key of the foot joint, right here.
Okay.
The next key, sixth finger, 5, and 4.
Okay.
All right? So I want you to tell me where's my thumb go?
On the B key.
Yes.
Or the machete.
Yeah. Cool. Where does my first finger go?
Skips that one and goes onto the first key.
Right there. What about my second finger?
Skips one, goes on to the fourth,
Yep.
and then follows it, and then on that.
Rest there. Okay. Now, where does my right hand go?
You work from the bottom up,
Mm-hmm.
so your pinky goes here.
No.
No.
It's the
Just
first
pinky
key on the foot joint.
Foot joint.
Yes.
Okay. First key on the foot joint, and then 6, 5, 4.
Okay. And your thumb, I forgot to mention before, is going to rest in between fingers 4 and 5. Okay? You're going to make sure there's no tension whenever you're holding it up. We're not actually going to put it into playing position because we're not going to play today. All right? But it's just going to rest between 4 and 5.
Okay.
All right. So now I'm going to hand you the flute. I want you to hold it by the top of the body where the head joint and the body meet. Okay?
Okay.
All right, here you go.
So it's on my left, holding it right here.
All right.
Right.
So I want you to put your left hand exactly where it's supposed to go.
Okay, so my thumb is here
Yes.
on the machete. My first finger skips this one, goes to this one here.
Yep.
Second finger skips one, goes here.
Yep.
4 follows.
That's
Yeah.
finger 3.
Wait, that is 3.
Yes.
And then here.
Your pinky lands right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's redo the left hand real quick.
Okay, I got it this time. Okay, my thumb on the machete.
Yes.
Or the B key. And then skips one, goes here. My second finger skips one, goes here.
Yes.
3, and then pinky
And
on-
rest. Yes.
rests on that thing.
Great. Now let's go to the right hand.
Okay, so we work from the bottom up.
Mm-hmm.
So the pinky goes on the first key of the foot joint.
Yes.
And then 6, 5, 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then my thumb rests in between
4 and 5.
4 and 5.
There you go.
Okay.
You know your correct hand positions for flute. Great.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and take that back. Very good. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to disassemble this. You're doing great, by the way. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the open head joint. So I'm going to kind of go through the minuscule parts here before we get to playing on it.
Okay.
So we have here, we have the strike edge, this is the tone hole, and this is the lip plate. All right?
So that's tone hole, strike edge, and lip plate.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
And this is where we won't do it, but this is where the cork is, which helps out with tuning.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this is the opening of the head joint, which whenever we get to close head joint, we'll actually be covering it. All right.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm going to put that in the case real quick. And we're going to talk about breathing. So the biggest thing about breathing is it's a constant flow and we're never capping our air. All right. So let's go ahead and let's just breathe in and breathe out, and let's never stop the air from moving. Okay?
Okay.
So just breathe in with me. Just never stop. You can use your hand with me. Very nice. Let's go to correct playing position for this. Be nice and relaxed. All right. Once you go ahead and use your hand and gently push forward a little bit. There we go. Now you're nice and straight.
It's floating and it's relaxed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice now. All right, so let's do some more breathing. Okay. Very good. Sounds very good. It sounds relaxed. There's no tension. You can relax. Now we're going to kind of talk about what's going to go on with the face here. So I want you to say poo.
Poo.
All right. Now what I want you to do is I want you to put air through it and just start with the initiation of poo. So
Would you like me to use my finger?
no, you don't have to.
Okay.
All right. I want a little bit less and more. Okay. Yeah, very good. Now what I want you to do is I'm going to stick my finger right here, like close to me, and I'm going to angle my air towards where my fingernail is, okay?
Okay.
So this is what I'm going to do. And my air is going to hit where my fingernail is. So I want you to do that with your finger.
Where's my finger?
May I touch your hand?
Yes.
Okay. So I want you to do that, and I want you to angle your air towards your finger.
Okay. With poo.
With poo. Did you hit your finger now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to try it with mine. Okay, you can sit down. There you go. Go ahead. Very nice. All right. You're doing great so far. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to introduce the head joint with me, and then we're going to try to get you to start making some sound on the head joint as well.
Awesome.
Okay. Very cool. So I'm bringing the head joint to me. I'm going to display good playing position. I'm nice and relaxed. I'm holding with both hands right now. I'm going to roll it up to where the head joint is always, the tone hole is always facing the ceiling. Okay? It's always up in the sky. And I'm going to roll it in to where my lips can feel where the metal stops and the tone hole begins. Okay? And I'm just going to start the wind pattern saying poo, and I'm going to angle my air towards my fingernail, okay?
Okay.
And try it one more time. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, so I'm going to wipe this off real quick. And I want you to try to do it. Now, always remember that we're starting with a poo, and we're nice and control, a steady airstream, and you're always aiming towards that fingernail.
Imaginary finger?
Yeah, I'll put my finger out for you, okay? So, here you go. Here's the head joint.
There's a certain way I should hold it, or is this just...
That's fine.
Okay. Okay. So, put it here, and then roll it toward my lip.
Yep, that's perfect.
Feels the...
That looks good.
Okay. And then finger.
Start with the poo. Very nice. Now I want you to start with faster air right from the get-go. I don't want you to speed it up. I just want it to be instant, okay?
Okay.
Very nice.
Yay.
Good job. That is such a great sound to begin with. Okay. So, how does it feel whenever you go from off the head? Here, I'll take the head joint. Does it feel really similar whenever you're just doing to just adding the head joint?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining blowing the air towards the finger as if that wasn't there.
Yeah, because
So.
the difference between like us playing a brass instrument or us playing another woodwind is all of this is off of like outside the face, and it's all external. Okay, so I want you to play again, and I'm going to bring this mirror over here, and I want you to look for a thing called a condensation trail. So I'm going to I want you to look for it on mine. So I'm going to play, and then there's going to be condensation right here whenever I play. All right, I want you to look for it. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it should be nice and centered. And we're going to try that again with you. And I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to see if you can find it, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way real quick. Go ahead and adjust that so you're able to see it. I want you to raise that up a little bit. Okay. So you're able to see the condensation trail. Okay. Is that good? All right. So go ahead and take the head joint and try to find the condensation trail directly in the center of the tone hole.
Okay. Here?
Yep. Is it directly in the center?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Always facing the sky. Go ahead and try. I want you to bring the actual head joint a little bit closer up. Yeah, let's try that.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you see the condensation trail? Really look for it.
Can I move closer?
Yeah, go ahead and move closer.
Okay.
Do you see it this time?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool, awesome. So that, here, I'll go ahead and take the head joint from you. So that's kind of where we're aiming for every time we go to play on the open head joint, okay? So you're always looking for the condensation trail directly in the center. Very nice job, Shakria. You're making really good sounds. All right, very good. Now, hold on, I got my stuff mixed up a little bit. So next up is we're going to kind of talk about our closed head joint. All right. So there are three things that change whenever we go from an open head joint to a closed head joint. Okay. And this is not counting putting the hand right here. So we have slower, warmer air.
Mm-hmm.
Our air direction is going to be more down, and our embouchure is going to be a little bit more open. Okay. So we're basically bringing the bottom lip a little further down. Okay. And with that, we're going to bring our right hand and we're going to completely seal the opening of the head joint. And I'm going to remember all the three factors, and I'm going to basically slow down my air, aim it down, and I'm going to make my embouchure larger, and I'm going to get a nice resonant closed head joint tone.
Okay. So you're slowing down your air.
Mm-hmm.
You're opening up your embouchure.
Yes.
Was it up? Slow.
And the direction.
Direction.
Direction is
Aimed
more
downwards.
downwards.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So here we go. No. Now, if you look at my condensation trail, it's probably going to be a little bit larger.
Mm-hmm.
Is a little bit larger on the opposite side.
Yeah.
All right. So, tell me what are the three factors that change from the open to the closed head joint?
You're slowing down your air.
Yeah.
You're aiming more downwards.
Mm-hmm.
And your embouchure is more open.
Yeah. So whenever you think about your slower air, I want you to think about warmer air too. So whenever I try to fog my glasses up and I'm using slow warm air, that's basically the same kind of air I'm using.
Okay. So
right?
not trying to blow out a candle, but trying. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
All right. Cool. Here's your head joint.
Okay.
Completely seal it with the right hand.
Okay. It's completely sealed.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right here.
Yeah. Make sure you're starting with poo.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I want you to try that one more time. Make sure your air and the poo is starting at the same time. I want you to bring the head joint a little bit closer closer to your mouth, okay? A little bit further up, sorry. Okay?
Okay.
Now go ahead and try it. Very nice. Good. Man, you're a natural at this. This is way more successful than I was at the first time. All right, so I want you to go ahead and I want you to do it a few more times and then see if you can get a little bit more consistent with it, okay? Make sure we're always starting with poo, right? And try to get a nice, warm, resonant sound, all right?
Okay. Hands fully covering. Is that good? Words, please.
I'm going to go ahead and bring the mirror over to you. Okay, here, I'll take the head joint and I want you to, here, I'll take the head joint and I want you to adjust your mirror so you can see it.
Okay.
Is that going to be fine for your natural playing position? Can you
Yes.
see it? Okay. All right. There you go. And you should be able to see the condensation trail widening as well.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead and try. I want you to roll in the tone hole a little bit. Yeah. Okay. There you go. You're showing with poo. That sounded like a who.
Yeah, I didn't poo that.
Right.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Very nice. Can we get a more steady airstream from you this time? Very good. That was great. That was way better. Nice. Could you see your condensation trail?
Mm-hmm.
Very awesome. I'll take that from you. Man, you were really trucking along. All right. So, we have gone through our open head joint and our closed head joint. Now we're going to kind of talk about articulation. All right?
Okay.
So, articulation is not too different from what you're used to. But remember that everything is external now. Okay? Sorry I wasn't talking directly to you. I was trying to fix this. All right? So, I want you to say poo, two, two, two.
Just
Yeah, just say it.
poo, two, two, two.
So this time I want you to say it again, but I want you to be aware of where your tongue is whenever you're saying two.
Okay. Poo, two, two, two.
All right. Where was your tongue hitting?
The roof of my mouth.
Yeah.
Behind my teeth.
Okay. Cool. It's not going to be the same for everyone. So as long as you know where it is and it stays the same, that's the most important. Okay? All right. I can't dictate exactly where your tongue is supposed to hit, but the relative area of where your where your teeth and where the gums meet is kind of where it should be around there. I'm guessing that's where it is for you.
It's a little bit behind, but it's in the general area.
Okay, then that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to, instead of saying it, I want you to wind pattern through that articulation. So you're going to start.
With my finger?
You don't have to, I'm just doing that.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to do that one more time.
Okay.
So is your tongue still hitting in the same spot?
Yeah.
I want you to do it one more time for me. All right, so I'm hearing a lot of. So one thing that I didn't say before is like your air is a constant brick of sound, and then your tongue is only slightly separating the air. So the air should never be stopped by the tongue. It's just a separation of air. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Just the smallest amount of tongue, the least amount of taste buds. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So just make sure that you're not moving around too much, and it's just the tongue separating the air. I just want you to do it one more time for me. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. One thing I have to say is make sure you don't pull your corners back, all right, and don't roll your lip in. We're going to have to worry about it a little bit later in an ascending harmonic slur, but for the most part it sounds fine. And just remember, it takes a lot of air to put through this, okay? It's a little bit easier here, but it takes just as much air to play on this as it does tuba.
Okay.
All right, so I know it's hard to believe, but half your air is lost whenever it hits the strike edge, okay? Only half of the air goes into the actual instrument. All right, so I'm going to try it now, and I'm going to do it through the open head joint.
Okay. Open, so
Open.
without your hand.
Without my hand.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that. We ran out of recording space, but here we are again. We're continuing with articulation. And so, Shakriya, I want you to do one more time. I want you to say poo, two, two, two.
Poo, two, two, two.
Now do it in a wind pattern. Make sure your tongue isn't too heavy. Make sure the air is constantly moving, okay? Try that one more time for me. Alright, so I'm going to model it again on an open head joint. Okay?
Okay.
You want to give it a try?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, here we go. I'm going to move your mirror over here. And remember, it's just in quarter notes, just like in 4/4. I'm going to adjust that for you. Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead. Make sure you're starting with the poo. Okay. Nice job. Let's do it 2 more times and let's see if we can get consistency, okay?
Okay.
Make sure you start with a nice steady air. Very good. One more time. Make sure your direction of air is staying the same.
Okay.
Aim right towards me. There you go. Nice job. Congratulations. You're an expert on articulation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And now here comes the fun stuff. So we're going to do a harmonic slur. First off, I'm going to tell you what is a harmonic slur for this flute. So we're going to go on a covered head joint now, and we're going to be moving from a lower partial to a higher partial. And it sounds something like this. Okay, so we're moving from the lower partial to the higher partial, and there's 3 things that we have to do to ensure that the higher partial will come out.
Okay.
So the first one is we're going to slowly, not slowly, we're going to bring the lip more forward and up towards the top lip. We're going to have a steadier, faster air, and we're going to change the direction of air from down low to more blowing across the tone hole.
Okay.
Okay, can you tell me those 3 things for me?
You're angling your air more across the tone hole.
Okay.
You're opening up. You're closing.
Not closing,
You're lifting your lip
making it a little bit smaller.
smaller.
Okay.
And you're using a faster airstream.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to, once again, I'm going to play it for you on the closed head joint. You don't have to go back down. I just want you to go from the bottom one to the top. Okay?
Okay.
So here's the head joint. Let me go ahead and adjust this for you. Is that good?
A little higher.
Okay. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Make sure you're not bringing the corners back and you're bringing the bottom lip forward and more towards the top lip.
Okay.
Okay, very nice. Make sure you're not timid with your air and try to keep the airstream consistent. And then as you go up, the air comes more across the tonal and it's a faster air. Right now, I still see your corners kind of rolling back and your bottom lip is kind of rolling back. I want to make sure that you're going forward. There you go. Try to get a nice center tone on the bottom one, though. There you go. Nice job. That was
Awesome.
really good. Okay, cool. That was a great harmonic slur. Okay, so in closing, Shakriya did a whole lot today as far as learning about the flute, and I just need to go over everything that she did learn, which was you learned your proper playing position, you know how to correctly open the flute case, you know all the parts of the flute, you know how to assemble the flute, you know the hand positions of the flute, you know how to play on the open head joint, the closed head joint, you demonstrated proper articulation, and a harmonic slur. Thank you for being such a great student, and you've done a wonderful job in your first lesson.
Thank you.